The Bookworm is an MGM cartoon from 1939. This is directed by Friz, Freleng and Hugh Harman. It's written by Joseph Barbera, Jack Cosgriff and Charles McGirl, with a voice cast including Mel Blanc, Elvia Allman, Frank Elmquist and Martha Wentworth. And it's okay. I didn't love it. I feel like it could have been a lot more interesting, but it wasn't bad as such. This is set around a lot of books, which I absolutely did enjoy, but I don't think they really utilised the books as much as they could have done. And with a spoiler warning in a little bit, I will give an example of something that they did that I thought worked well, but I would have wanted to have seen more of it. But this will be spoiler-free to begin with, and these witches demand that this crow goes and gets them a worm for a potion that they're making, a spell that they're doing. And the crow decides to find a bookworm, and that's what the cartoon is all about. And I actually found the interaction between the bookworm and the crow to be really boring, apart from the bit with a tisket a tasket, which I rather liked. It gave us some great music. That was definitely not too bad, but the rest of the interaction between those characters I just found to be not interesting. The crow trying to get the bookworm I didn't think was very fascinating, although we do get to see a shadow of the crow at one point, and it's quite suspenseful and it lasts a couple of seconds, and that bit I liked. So there were a few small things throughout it that I thought were pretty interesting, but in general I feel like it wasn't that fascinating, and they could have done so much more with it. And again, with a spoiler warning, I will explain what I mean by that in a moment. The animation quality is absolutely fine, not the most visually engaging, but it's also not badly animated. The concept is quite fascinating, not the best executed, so I would say it's a pretty average cartoon. The Bookworm is not bad, but I wouldn't say it's particularly great either. So I will now, with a spoiler warning, mention something that I thought was quite good, and I would have liked to have seen a lot more of it. If this is what it had been about, it could have been a bit better. So this is, of course, a spoiler. And towards the end, when one of the characters, I can't remember if it was the crow or the worm, but they pass this book of Boy Scouts, and then the Boy Scouts come out of the book and they're interacting with their surroundings, and I really liked that. I've mentioned this numerous times in other discussions, but I love it when book characters in animations come to life. So much fun. And we do get a bit of that here, but I think had they lent into that a bit more, we could have had a lot more interesting characters. There could have been a lot more to look at. If they'd done more of that, I think it could have been even better. So definitely room for improvement, but I can't say that I hated it. There were some bits that were okay, but in general, the Bookworm was not amazing.